Building your brand new custom home is so exciting. It's like going to the Oscars and you've been nominated and they call your name for the picture of the year. You go on stage, of course you got your beautiful gown and your tuxedo on. You're going on stage and you're thanking the cast, the crew, the stuntmen, the producers, the director, all the people involved in creating that special moment for you. So in this video, we're going to go over the different people involved in creating your perfect dream home. You know, sometimes building a home from ground up can be really boring, bland, unexciting, like there's nothing going on, similar to the background in this video. But the beauty of it all is that you get to see such a transformation from your ideas, your concept, the floor plan, to seeing your dream come into fruition. Just like going on stage at the Oscars and grabbing the most coveted award of the entire year. But getting that award did not come without a lot of work, maybe some sweat, some tears, and a lot of stress. And you're going to feel some of that when you decide to build your home. And in this video, we're going to cover those questions that you may have. I mean, you're excited. You decided you're going to build your home. But then you have a question of, well, which community is the best one for me? Which builder should I hire? And of course, one of the most favorite topics of them all is, how am I going to get the best deal when it comes to financing my home? Well, we're going to cover those too. And then the last part of this video, we're going to go over the different stages of construction so that you will have an idea of what to expect. Because trust me, it doesn't come from I've picked out my floor plan to I'm ready to move in. There are a lot of steps in between. I've had so many clients who become so stressed at the construction phases and stages that they wanted to throw in the towel. But fortunately for you, I'm going to go over these different steps so you'll be well aware of the different phases that you will experience when constructing your new home. Well, first, let's talk about, well, your homework. Yes, pun intended. This is the point where you're going to do your own little investigation, decide which community is best for you, which city, which location within the city, because we always in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, we have to consider our commute to work and the other places we like to do to just live life. So let's say, for example, you decide to move to Keller, Hazlet, South Lake, anywhere in our communities. You might want to pick a community that is closer to one of our major freeways, because if you're commuting 45 minutes one way, you don't want to spend 10 minutes within your own city just to get to one of the freeways. So that could be a really huge deciding factor for you, because the shorter the commute, probably the more you're able to maintain your sanity in our traffic. And your homework is multifaceted. You want to make sure you have the right community that fits your lifestyle. Do you have a community with a, well, amenity center with different parks and trails and pools and playgrounds and sports courts? Or do you have the type of community where people have their own swimming pools and they don't have a community pool? Or a smaller community where maybe you have acre lots where you could do almost whatever you want to, well, within the guidelines of your HOA, that you choose the right builder. And this is how you know you have the right builder. Look at what they consider as their base model, because not all builders are created equal. Not all base models are created equal. In some builders, their base is going to give you the 5+ inch baseboards, the 5+ inches of your crown molding. Whereas some builders, that's considered an upgrade. Some builders will automatically give you smart home features, whereas others, it could be an upgrade. So you have to decide which one has the plan that works best for you. Okay, I want a media room and a game room, and we have 2 people working from home, so we need 2 other spaces that could accommodate for offices. Well, some builders have a multitude of plans with those options, whereas another builder can only give you 1 out of those 3. So you want to do your homework and research to know which builder within a community is the best one for you. So now that you've got the location, let's talk money, and that's financing. You're going to have an option. You can either use the builder's preferred lender or your own lender of your choice. Well, here's the thing. This is why you're so incentivized to use the builder's lender, because the builder's lender is also able to add upgrades and concessions that are very attractive. Oftentimes in our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, many of my clients are just excited about the incentives that builders are providing, especially if you use their lender. So for example, a builder may say, we're going to give you $40,000 worth of incentives if you choose our preferred lender. Now, the thing of it is, it's really not the lender that's giving you the $40,000 in concessions. It's actually the builder. The builder is offering you $40,000 to use toward closing costs, maybe in your design center. Because remember, when we talk about prices of homes, we're talking about the base price. I mean, there's nothing fancy going on. Although some of the builders will have nice, upgrades in their base models, but typically base is just that. It's like buying a car. You have the base model. So the builder understands that likely you're going to want to upgrade some things. So they'll throw in some upgrades of $30,000, $40,000. It depends on the price of the home if you use their preferred lender. Now, sometimes they'll still give you these incentives even if you use your own lender. But typically, if you use your own lender, the incentives won't be as great as if you use the builder's lender. Hey, just give me a call, comment, and we can discuss more detail one-on-one on how this works. But the beauty of it is, if you are deciding to build a home, I would grab hold of every incentive that is out there, especially if it makes sense for you. Because these incentives, we don't know how long they will last, but they're here today. So if I were you, I would get on the phone and get going with buying your new home. So financing is very, very important. You still have the right to choose your lender, but I would just try to compare apple to apple and see which route is the best one for you. And most important, I want you to lean in, go get your pen and paper for this. I'll wait. Choose your realtor wisely. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, Tracy, do I really need to have a realtor if I'm getting a new constructed home? What could be wrong with a new home? Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a second. And then you're thinking, well, if I can cut out the realtor, maybe I can save more money and get a better deal. Yeah, that's not going to happen either. This is why. Because remember, the builders have to protect the integrity of the whole neighborhood. So they have to maintain a price point. So they're not going to say, okay, if you don't use a realtor, whatever that realtor's fee would be, we're just going to subtract that off the price of the home. Most builders have a separate accounting. Maybe their marketing account or their marketing dollars will go toward paying the realtor. Now think about it. If the builder is willing to pay a realtor to represent you, don't you think you probably need representation? Because the builder has a team of people working for them. From the sales department, the person when you walked into the model and you say hello, well, guess what? They actually work for the builder. They have attorneys. They have finance people. They have a lot of people on their side. So don't you deserve to have representation? Because there are things that you may not know, even though it is brand new construction, that a seasoned, experienced agent can help you navigate some of those real choppy waters that can happen even with new construction. Now let's talk money, because the more money we save, the better sense it makes. So here is what I hear oftentimes is, Tracy, when is the best time to move into a new neighborhood? I would say when the neighborhood opens. The earlier you can get in there, the better. You've heard the expression, the early bird catches the worm. Well, this is how you can catch discounts in a new constructed neighborhood. Here's how you do that. Number one, if it's brand new, oftentimes you are offered an introductory price just to get in the neighborhood. They just want to break ground. And it's a great chance for you to get in there and then think about it. If you're one of the first ones in the neighborhood, you're just going to start gaining equity because your home value will continue to rise and there'll be greater appreciation, which again, that's equity for you. And equity, we translate that as loads of cash when you get ready to sell your home, or even if you don't want to sell it anytime soon, if you have to pull some cash out of your home because life has happened. So it's very important if you can get in while the community is young, you typically get the greatest return for your investment. Well, here's another thing to consider. What phase are we in? So let's say they have just opened this community. You're in phase one of the community, but they're getting ready to close out phase one and open phase two. Well, that's another incredible opportunity for you to get a pretty good deal, because why? They want to close it out. They're ready to move on to the next phase. So the sooner they get that closed out, now they can break ground. And they might want to help give you a little bit more incentive to go ahead and purchase one of their homes so they can get their goals met, and that is to continue to build more homes in new phases. So again, that could be a great way to save even more money. Now, here is a possible pitfall during closeout phases of a community. Take a close look at the location of the lot, because ask yourself, why hasn't anyone else chosen that lot to build their home? Is it backing up to something that's a little odd? Is it a strange shaped lot? So if there is a lot or two still left, and ask, why is this lot still available? They may not come out and tell you, but most of the builders and the salespeople I've worked with, they're very forthcoming, because they'd rather be upfront with you than have you back out of the deal later. But there's a reason why that lot may still be available. Now, here's a good thing. If the lot is available or the home is available, maybe someone backed out of the deal. Maybe they couldn't get their financing right. So that is still a real good opportunity for you. Okay, we're still talking about money because we want the money to make sense. And this is the design center. So you've got this lump of incentives, this great number to incentivize you to use the builder's lender, remember? So you can use this money towards your design center. And this would be a great chance to do that, because if you had to just piecemeal, a la carte, the different things that you want in your home, that's going to blow you out the water sometimes. So I would take advantage of that. And it's very important that you understand the schedule for when you can no longer request changes from the design center. Because if you've already made certain decisions and they've already ordered it, so if you're making a change order, then that's going to cost you more money. But if you were to ask me, I might cut it up a little bit. Let's divide this money. Let's divide it between closing costs and maybe design center. Because closing costs, the more money that they are giving you, the less you have to bring to closing. Because remember, you still have your down payment to bring to closing. So if they're going to help you with your closing costs, definitely want to do that, because that's money you're going to keep in your pocket. And if you want to use your design center money, use as much as you can. But if it's something that you can do, a few months after you move in, then you might be able to get a better price off market. All right, so let's get to it. Let's talk about the different stages and phases of building your home. Now, this is where the stress can just be off the wall because of the anticipation. You're excited. You've picked your floor plan. You've picked the options within the floor plan. You've picked your lot. And now it's like getting a bag of popcorn with your soda, your candy, and watching a movie on the big screen. And you're so excited. Then all of a sudden you get a little dismayed, because you're thinking to yourself, what is going on? Nothing is going on. But the first phase is what I would describe the really important phase, and that's the foundation. So they've cleared the lot. They've already got the utilities together, because if it's a developed community, that's already there. But now they've poured the foundation. You're excited, right? So you're going to show up to the work site and you see this foundation poured. You look at this slab and you think to yourself, this is not the right address. This is not the right plan. I did not pick this because this foundation, this slab is way too small. So then you get on the phone with me and then with the sales office. Hey, what happened? Is this the right plan? Because everything is going to look much smaller when it's just a concrete slab. This is where we're going to ask you to just trust us. You're going to start seeing that slab transform into so much life that you're going to be excited. But that's when it gets really boring. And in the first phase, you can have an inspector. In fact, I would encourage you to get inspections done on all of these phases, because you're allowed to have them done. Here's a true story. There was a person, they didn't get the inspection done on their foundation. It was already poured, and they realized, hey, you know what? I need to get the foundation inspected. Let me hire my third-party independent inspector. The inspector went out and did the thermal imaging and did all of the things they do to inspect the quality of the slab. and they found that there was something wrong with the slab. So the builder ended up having to bust up the concrete and make that correction. Do you have to do it? No, you don't. But if you're able to do it and you're catching it from foundation up, then I would highly recommend you have every inspection that you can get done during your construction phase. Let's talk about phase 2. And that's the framing. This is about a week or 2 process. It depends on the builder. And this is where they're going to install the wood beams, the rafters, the floor studs, and it's going to look real skeletal. I mean, you're starting to see some formation going on, but you're going to use a lot of imagination to figure out, okay, this is the living room. This is where the kitchen is going to go. And again, the rooms are going to feel so small. You're going to be tempted to pick up the phone and say, hey, Tracy, what's going on? But trust the process. This is a house that you chose with the floor plan and with the square feet. But sometimes I have buyers who they just can't envision it, and it drives them bonkers. And in turn, it drives me a little, nuts. But anyway, it's just part of the process. So just be aware that you're going to see these various stages, and it's going to be a while before your home really starts to take shape. But hang in there, it's coming. Then the next phase, you're going to get the trim, you're going to get the rough mechanical installations, you're going to get more things going on in the home. So you're starting to shape up a little bit more, but you're still using your imagination. But realize that you can still have that inspection done for each of these phases. So right now, you're really getting exhausted because you've had several months of not seeing a whole lot going on. And you're getting more and more hopeful because you're starting to see that skeletal image of your home, even more and more hopeful because you're starting to really see things pull together. Then you see the next stage, and that's when the drywall comes in. You see the interior trim, the kitchen, the bath, the baseboard, staircase railing, the interior doors, the molding. This is when you get so excited. You're starting to take pictures. Maybe you're driving your friends by to kind of see it too. Well, let's be honest. You've been driving by almost daily, weekly at a minimum, just to see every phase and every stage. It's like watching paint dry. But right now, this is exciting time because it's really starting to look like that floor plan. And you're starting to say, Tracy, I don't know why I doubted you from the beginning. You're right. This is the house I chose. And it's really starting to pull together for you. And this is the phase where you see the painting. Now, how exciting is that? The mechanical trim where they have the security system, the smart system, all of these things are being pulled together. Our next phase is the flooring and the landscape. So you know that once we get to this phase, it's just a matter of days, well, maybe weeks, depends on if we have rain, but you're getting your wood flooring in, your carpet in, all of those details are going in. You are seeing the paint and the landscaping. That's something to get excited about. Your sidewalk, your driveway, the fence, all the curb appeal that goes along with the home. And this is showtime. I mean, this is like you walking up to the stage, to the podium, and you're thanking the Academy for a fantastic year. You're thanking all the people who support you along the way, because you got that Oscar coming. You're thanking me, the realtor, for just allowing me to continue to call you and all my panic and frantic and fear. And I thank you, Tracy, for just telling me it's going to be okay. And the builder, the sales rep, it's just really making a lot of sense for you. And you're finally there. I mean, you see your home. You see your dream coming to fruition, and you're so excited about it because, it's time for the big reveal. And the big reveal is right before you go to closing. And this is when you have a scheduled appointment to do your final walkthrough with the builder's contractor. And they're going to walk through their home, and they're going to demonstrate the home, all the mechanics of the home, all the features of the home. They'll go outside with you to show you how to cut off the water from the home or whatever you need to know about the home, how to use the components. They're going to take their time and go through this with you. And some builders even have hired a third party to walk through with you. This is where you see the blue tape, because the blue tape is where you are able to indicate any imperfections that you see. And the builder will go through this list of your blue tape request and your inspection report, go through it and make sure everything has been corrected. Because remember, you've had a multitude of people come through that home. You have human beings who's constructed this home. So maybe the plumber bumped something that the electrical has done. Or maybe the electrical person accidentally scratched a little of the drywall. Well, all of these things will be corrected. Oh, this is another story. I mean, really, it happened. During the walkthrough, I had a buyer and this person that was in a full-blown panic because the home wasn't as clean as they thought it should be. Okay, honestly, there were, soda cans around because you had the work crew. And she was like, I'm done. I'm not going to buy this home. I cannot believe this home is so dirty. And so we had to reassure her that the house has been built, it's complete, but the final walkthroughs have not been conducted. So if you decide to go to your building site multiple times throughout the process, you're going to see your home and it's not going to look clean because they haven't had the cleaners go in there. Yeah, the porta potty that's on the street, that's going to be moved too. So don't worry. Certain things just happen. That's just part of construction. But this buyer, once we're able to and once we were able to really reason with her that it's going to be okay. No, we're not going to sign off on a home that has trash inside of it. It's going to be clean. She relaxed. She got excited again. She went on to closing, signed all of her documents, and she's loving her home. I'm invited to barbecues. I'm excited. So just like she had some little agitations, frustrations, and fears, you may have some very, very similar. But that's why you've hired the realtor to help you navigate and even negotiate some things. Because there may be some things that out of maybe the ordinary that need to be addressed. Well, that realtor is going to pull you in and pull in the builder, pull in the sales rep, and get it all worked out. Because what we all want is what's best for you. And that's to create your memory and your dream home and get excited about it. And one of the last things I want to cover in this video is, well, not the fun part, and that's the taxes that are involved whenever you decide to buy a brand new home. So in our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you can have a new community that has a MUD, Municipal Utility District, or a PID, Public Improvement District. These districts are a relationship between the developer and the city or the county. They are designed to help with the infrastructure of the communities, whether it's the utilities or by improvements would mean sidewalks, streets. So what happens is when you get your brand new home, guess who's passing that along to you? Yes, but that's where you do your homework so you can see how that increases your expense of living in that neighborhood. Now for a review of the different stages and phases of creating your new home. Well, the first one is your foundation. And to me, I think that is the most important part of the entire construction process, because if your foundation isn't sturdy, well, the house will crumble. And in Texas, most builders will offer you a 10-year warranty to cover the foundation. The second phase, that's the framing. That's when you're going to start seeing the skeletal structure of your home. The next phase, now this is when you're going to start getting excited because now you're starting to see your home really develop. This is the mechanical roughing, your insulation. This is where the sticks are going to start looking more like a home. The next phase is flooring and landscape. I mean, you are so excited by now. You're taking selfies outside of your home. You just can't wait. So this is the phase where they are really bringing it all together. It really starts to look like home. You've got your carpet, your tile, your wood flooring in there, and your landscape, all of the curb appeal is pulling together. And what's left after that? The big reveal. This is when you get to walk through your home with the builder, the contractor, to make sure everything is perfect, exactly how you envisioned. Hi, I'm Tracy Sorrell with the DFW Life, and I help people buy and sell homes on a fairly regular basis here in our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And nothing excites me more when I see people are so thrilled to see their dream home become a reality. So if you're thinking about building your new home in our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, do me a favor, comment below, give me a call, reach out to me, and let's get together and decide which community, which builder, which floor plan is the best one for you to create your memories and call home.